Please read the disclaimer. Holy smokus, it ain't no jokes. XRP holders, what the beep is going on with Clarity Act? Is it over for the crypto market, or is this just a little bit of an overreaction to something that we already kind of knew? Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, money makers. We actually started out the day with some good news for the crypto market, and then the news actually came out during last night, but the market started processing it, and then our good old friend Circle started reacting to it, and that created kind of this social media blitz that all social media was talking about this. So then, of course, it affected the crypto market, and XRP started selling off, and Bitcoin started selling off. We'll talk about all that. Now, all I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile to send out those good vibes. We might have we finished the alarm, so I was about to record, and then we had an alarm, and so Kane just came out of the bomb shelter. Hopefully we don't have another one, so if we do, I'll stop, but it's okay. Smishity smash the like button and let's get into it. Currently XRP is sitting at $1.38. XRP is down -3% on the day. You can see XRP went all the way up here to the $1.43 resistance zone here this morning. So you'll see that the news that we're going to talk about already came out earlier than that. And the fact is that the market kind of reacting to this and selling off on it is kind of funny, but this is how it is right now. When news hits the cycle or hits the social media, this is what happens. And it kind of was under the radar for some reason during the morning, right? Bitcoin under 60,000, you can see going down to the support zone at 68,900, which was the previous all-time high from 2021, bouncing off of that. Ethereum again, 2120, down -1.5%, and Solana down 2.5%. Why XRP down a little bit more? We'll get to that in just a second. XRP was in the in the green a little bit, but not as much as Bitcoin and Ethereum. So again, if you take, let's say, the high here, XRP is down 3%. And if we take the high here, right, Bitcoin is down 2.7%. So it's not that big, between them. Okay, so we actually, like I said, started out the day with good news. S&P Global Manufacturing PMI flash came in at 52.4. Expected was 51.3. We talked about this, how the PMI, the manufacturing PMI was important, and we're continuing to see it grow and get higher every single print. So that's good for the crypto market. Remember, we've never had a run when this was under 50. So this is very, very important to the crypto market. But then the word about Eleanor's tweet or Eleanor's information started coming out, and it was funny. Right, and we'll get to what she tweeted out, which was actually during the night, and then we'll get to the reaction, right, and then we'll get to what she actually tweeted and her reaction to that. It's very interesting to analyze it like this. Okay, so sit back, relax, get some popcorn, maybe some chocolate. And I just want to remind you that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Also, remember that I will never contact you on social media asking to sign up to anything or to send me anything. Those are scammers. Those are imposters. I will never befriend you. I'm never going to DM you first. Please be very careful out there, okay? Only this YouTube channel, our Telegram group, and my Twitter. That's it. And it's all linked here in the description down below. Be very careful out there. So let's start with the first initial report, okay? Let's talk about this. So new details are emerging about the latest legislative text outlining the compromise on stablecoin yields and rewards. So I reported on this last night already, and this is Eleanor telling us what the White House and the senators agreed on, along with early reactions from crypto industry leaders who reviewed it today, right? I think that is maybe the review is what is causing a little bit of the hoopla. According to an internal stakeholder email shared with me, the proposal would prohibit platforms from offering yield directly or indirectly for holding a stablecoin or in a manner that resembles a bank deposit. The restriction would apply broadly to digital asset service providers, exchanges, brokers, etc., and their affiliates to limit workarounds, and would bar anything economically or functionally equivalent to interest. proposal would also permit activity-based rewards tied to user activity, including loyalty, promotions, and subscription programs, provided they do not deemed economically or functionality equivalent to interest. It would also direct the SEC, CFTC, and US Treasury to jointly define permissible rewards and establish anti-evasion rules within 1 year. So basically saying that they can't do what the banks are doing, but it would tell the SEC and the CFTC and the US Treasury to find what kind of rewards they could give out. One industry leader who reviewed the text today tells me that the draft is a departure from what had been previously discussed with the White House, warning the economic equivalence standard is vague and could be interpreted more restrictively by future regulators. So right now we have a good SEC, but in the future, if the next chairman is maybe Gary Gensler again, maybe he interprets it in a different way, and then it's in Hebrew we say sisu and simchu, right? Like a celebration. They also point to limits on tying rewards to balances or transactions amount, which could make incentives difficult to structure. Right? So it's complicated. Overall, this is more now a restrictive approach towards crypto, they said. Another says the text is largely in line with expectations. Okay, and then we'll emphasize this in her tweet after that, and reflects a balanced outcome, preserving transaction-based incentives while making clear stablecoins cannot function like interest-bearing deposit accounts. Okay, this is the best possible result, they said, noting that the text is broader than the initial Tillis Al-Sabruk proposal, which would have been more restrictive on crypto. So this is quote unquote better than before, the best possible result, but it's still not what crypto people wanted, right? Crypto people wanted this to be, hey, I have a lot of USDT. I want to get a nice yield on it, right? Why not? And so it seems that the US government is not going to allow this. Maybe a different government somewhere around the world will allow this, and then you're going to have problems. But we'll see what happens with that. And of course, Circle was down almost 20%. Now it's come back a little bit. It's down 19%. It was actually on a very nice run here, right? From all the way from 50, to 132, like a massive run up there. But now down 20%. Of course, this happens when news like this hits the fan, and this is a stock that has gone up over 100% in a very short period of time. So shorts jump on it, longs jump ship, and then you have a situation like this where it's coming down, big time here today. And Eleanor kind of reacted to this, and she was like, this is interesting if you've been following this story. It's been well reported that yield on passive stablecoin balances was a non-starter from the beginning and unlikely to make into the final deal. I think Tether audit news may be placing into the drop as well, but it's still surprising to see the stock react this way given how public this has been for months through reporting and statements from lawmakers writing the text like Senator Thomas Till and Senator Al-Zabrooks. So she's like, I don't know why this is reacting, but this is how the market is sometimes. The market is processing this now, and they're like, suddenly everybody woke up, but we've been reporting on this for the past few months that this was probably going to be a non-starter, the yield on passive stablecoin balances. And so people might be getting angry right now and they might be pounding their fists, but this is basically what has been, told to us. So it's very interesting to see that is as what happens. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Are you mad at this? Are you happy about this? Is this what you were expecting? It doesn't mean that it's over for the crypto market. Like, crypto's selling off a little bit, but it's not the end of the world, right? It's not the best situation, of course, but it's what we kind of knew. It's a surprise to some people that haven't been covering it, maybe. And that's why you see there was a sell-off, but it wasn't a crazy sell-off. It could still get passed, and all the definitions and all the things that potentially would happen for crypto will still be in it. It's just this stablecoin yield, which I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, okay, so no yield on stablecoin, right? Okay, fine. I mean, okay. So we go to the banks for yields, or we invest our money in other ways. I mean, come on. And so I don't know. Let me know. What do you think? Maybe I'm underreacting to this, but let me know. I'm going to overreact to it in the title, but I'll underreact to it here in real time. Let me know what you think. Okay. And so we'll see how this plays out. And this was unrelated, but Circle froze USDC and 16 unrelated business wallet after legal request. Interesting. Circle froze funds in wallets belonging to unrelated operations, including this whole list here, following the US civil case request. So this also dropped today. So that was interesting. And you can see Eleanor's tweet, by the way, was at 5 a.m. my time. So it wasn't that this was, 5 a.m. And so crypto wasn't, this was at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. It wasn't until the stock market started trading and Circle dropped. When did Circle start dropping? When did this start happening? Yeah, look, it only started right when the market opened up. Like before that, and this news was before that. It's very interesting that this happened. Why? I don't know. You see, she tweeted this out previously. So this data was already out there since 5 a.m. So my time. So the Circle dumped here, what, that's 3:30 my time. So it's a long time, 10 hours. So very interesting that happened. Okay. So we'll see what happens on that front. Look at the disparity still between XPX and QQQ, which is the NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. Look at that disparity, right? We're still really off on the markets, right? So again, I still feel that there's a lot to close, but doesn't mean that it's going to happen, right? And so we need to take that into consideration as well. So just remember, yes, crypto is undervalued, quote unquote, right now towards the other markets, stocks, precious metals, oil, right? But that does not mean that the money is eventually going to come to crypto. That's what we're hoping, but that doesn't mean that is going to happen for sure. So yeah, have a plan in place, again, if it happens and if it doesn't happen, okay? And if we go to what's happening with Iran, right? Of course, that's affecting the markets every single day. Iran has just accused the U.S. of manipulating oil markets, of course. Iran's parliament speaker says that the U.S. hired companies to influence oil futures with paper trades and part of a broader campaign to take prices down. He says, let's see if they can turn paper prices into actual fuel at the pump or print gas molecules. So that's interesting as well. Of course, they're manipulating the price as well. They're manipulating the oil, but if the U.S. is manipulating the futures, okay. And this is where we are right now on the whole oil situation, right? And so it will be very interesting to see what happens there. And President Trump is saying that potentially Pakistan could act as a neutral host for potential negotiations, signaling that behind the scenes talks may be forming. So maybe we're closer than expected to a conclusion. My theory that we had almost 24 hours without an alarm went out the door. As I got woken up this morning with an alarm and now an alarm and missile. So my theory went out the door. I thought maybe after Trump said giving them 5 days that we'd have some quiet, but no. So that went out the door. We can throw that theory out the door. So it will be very interesting to see how the crypto market kind of processes this. I'm still waiting to see what Coinbase CEO, if he's going to say anything about this. I haven't seen yet. If he does, I'll update you. But he's the one, remember, that pulled out of the initial banking committee act, right? And maybe he says, okay, we're going to be on board with this. And maybe that gives the crypto market some wind, and maybe it doesn't. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this plays out. Again, let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you keep coming back and you're not subscribed. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And of course, the easiest thing to do to support the channel is to smash that like button. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, let's make a lot of money.